Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, August 9th, and the changes are here, boys. Building hasn't caught fire. We're good.
I think corporate's still standing too.
Yep. The real estate industry hasn't gone away. Realtors are still needed to buy houses. Thank God. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Sorry, I'm moving my thing around over here.
It's okay. Tom's just showing off all the sun. He wanted the same brightness as Anthony. So you got that same sky today.
Anthony just hit that go today, and I was like, "Oh, we got to figure it out real quick here. Get it together. It's Friday. We're gonna enjoy the day." Hurricane missed.
Hey, Debbie stayed east. Debbie stayed east. She missed.
Debbie didn't want to head out west to see us.
Oh man, I looked at that this morning. It was just straight red right up the center of the state.
She, big winds came through last night, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't hear anything.
We'll take it.
Anth, everything good on your end?
Yeah, buddy.
Attaboy. Yeah, so guys, we know everyone's here today, excited, nervous, stressed, whatever it may be with the new real estate changes. Hopefully it's a positive for everyone. Hopefully buyers are getting more transparency, understanding the home buying process. Hey, maybe even sellers are able to get charged a little less now to sell a home. Who the heck knows? It's now kind of split between each person's agent. You should be negotiating with your real estate agent, talking to your agent, figuring out what agent is best for you. Just like anything, the world is negotiable. So if you're a buyer out there, get out there and find yourself a good real estate agent. And if you need one, we know a few. Give us a call.
No, I think it's more crucial than ever that you're working with somebody that understands the changes and wants to adapt to the changes.
Yes. If you got an agent and they're a little shaky on these changes, make sure they're getting. I mean, it seems like at Berkshire Hathaway, there was a ton of education that went out with trainings and new forms and powwows with everyone in the offices getting together just to make sure we're all on the same page. So I hope throughout the industry that's the same, but you just never know.
Yeah, you can't count on the next person, or you just have to make sure that you know what you're doing. And if you know what you're doing, I don't want to say that in a bad way, but you can outsmart the other agent to get a better deal for the client that you're representing. Similar to how an attorney does it. The attorneys aren't all even. The better ones win the cases to get the money. So I think it does open up I would say, even more level playing field. So if you know what you're doing, you could get out there and you could be very successful.
Yeah. If you're an agent that knows these forms better than someone else and you know how to use them to your advantage, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But our biggest thing is, though, even though it seems like most sellers are no longer just going to have pre-negotiated commission for the buyer agent, it doesn't mean the buyer agent can't ask the seller to pay for their commission still in the contract. It's still in there. You just have to negotiate it now. It's not pre-negotiated. It's not coupled together. Each agent is kind of working with their client to figure out how they're getting paid.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have to be thought about, talked about, and put into play what the best method is going to be for your client, because one client's going to be way different than the next client. I pre-approved somebody yesterday. They need almost 5% seller's assist and a second mortgage to get the loan done. So that person right there definitely is going to need the buyer's commission to be put in 3A because they need everything of 3B. So, every client's different and you got to structure it the way that client needs it.
Now, Anth, our biggest fear is, I know we were talking before the show, and kind of our frustration with the new rules and the new forms is if the buyer is paying the commission out of their pocket, there is still nothing on the contract that shows that. So as a lender, with working with an agent, you need to make sure the lender knows that information so the buyer knows their actual costs.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important because as far as a lender standpoint, we have to verify those funds, where the money's coming from. The buyer has the funds, including their down payment and closing costs, along with commission or compensation. So it's very important that they send the BAC, if that would be the case, with the agreement of sale, so that we know as a lender what we're verifying and not doing it at the last minute. I think that's the most important, because the sooner it's done.
Yeah. And Anth, it's not even so much the last minute. If we have buyers not getting accurate numbers from their lender, that's a problem across the board. We don't want buyers finding out that their numbers for closing are changing by potentially thousands of dollars right before closing. That's not good business anywhere. That's why we as the lender need to make sure we have all the information to get the proper estimates out. But because how the contract is written, we can see if the seller's paying it. That's right in the contract now. We can't see just by the contract if the buyer and the buyer's agent have negotiated something themselves. And I think Tom hit it on the head also when we were talking. We're not mind readers. We can't magically know the commission has been negotiated between you guys. And if you don't tell us and you don't let us know, we're not going to know.
Yeah. Right. And to be quite frank, we're not going to put the commission in there if you don't tell us to put the commission in there, because Joe Schmo, lender down the road, is not putting the commission in there. And
Tom, all commission is negotiated. There is no set fee. It's impossible for us to put commission in there because we don't know what you guys negotiated with your buyer.
Yeah, so, I mean, it could be your parents or your kid, and you could be doing it for free, and that's what we think. So, yeah, it's very important that you let us know.
Very, very important. Again, we can't read your mind. There is no normal. There is no, this is the normal commission that should be put into a contract. It's every transaction is going to be negotiated now. So we're just really trying to push it out there. We're trying to ask as many questions as we can. But if you know your buyer is paying commission, you need to double check and just emphasize with the loan officer that we're all on the same page and the buyer's getting the proper estimates.
I say we just tell them real quick how to go about it if that buyer is paying commission. I think if your buyer in a multiple offer situation is going to pay your commission outright, that'd be the most beneficial time to do it. All you need to do is give us a call. Hey, Tom. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Anthony. This buyer is going to end up paying 3% commission. I already talked to them about it, and they're cool with it because of the multiple offers. We're going to keep the offer lower. Taxes will be lower for everybody. Transfer taxes will be a little bit lower, and the seller won't have to come out with that whole lump sum of the 3%. You're like, okay, that's perfect, Mr. or Mrs. Real Estate Agent. Let me add it in here to my estimate, and we'll show the buyer. We give it to the buyer. The buyer's okay with it. Put in the offer without it. That does make your offer the strongest, and we have been winning multiple offers like that for over 2 years now with some of the agents I work with that have been paying the buyer's commission.
And when the buyer gets their offer accepted and they complete mortgage application, I believe every real estate agent should be very knowledgeable of the loan estimate at this point. You should know what a loan estimate is. You should be able to read a loan estimate. In page 2 of a loan estimate, section H is always going to be the section for real estate commission. There is no other place that it will be on the buyer's loan estimate other than section H. If you as a buyer's agent believe a buyer should be paying a portion or all of your commission, you see a loan estimate, it's not on section H, you need to raise a red flag because that's very, very, very important.
Yeah, 100%.
Very important. There is no other spot for it. This is not magic. The loan estimate is the form you should be focusing on when your buyer is completing application to make sure that's in there. Now, on the flip side, Anth, let's pull up section 3 of the contract. This is all very, very, very new, but this is the new section. And let's try to zoom in a little bit more. There we go. So this is the new section, either A or B or both, right? They've kind of broken it up. Section A is only for buyer broker commission fee. If you want the seller to be paying some of it, you put it there. Section B is good old-fashioned seller assistance that's always been allowed to be paid. Sometimes it's 3% max. Sometimes it's 6% max. Sometimes on VA, it's not a max percentage. It's a max dollar amount. Whatever it may be, these are items to lower costs for buyers that you're asking the seller to pay. Of course, in a multiple offer, this may not be possible. But if you're a real estate agent and you want to tell your buyers, hey, yes, you have to pay my commission, but I'm such a good agent, I'm going to negotiate it that the seller pays it, boom. That's where you put it in the contract. Nothing's out of the buyer's pocket, and it's like it's always been for eternity.
Sound like a salesman there. That was pretty nice sales pitch. I think that could be used.
It's the name of the game. I mean, before sellers were paying it up front, it was pre-negotiated. Now the seller is not going to pre-negotiate it, but they can still pay it. Put it in your offer, negotiate it with the seller, and see what happens. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, because there's no point for the seller to give it up right away. I mean, of course you could ask for it and they're okay with you giving it up. But if somebody comes to them with a better offer that's full price with not paying commission, they're going to take that one, especially in a multiple offer situation. So it all comes down to the negotiating and the net bottom line for the seller and how strong is your offer going to be to get them the most on their net bottom line.
Yeah,
really what it comes down to.
We are always here to help with contracts, with negotiating. Hey, talk to us about a closing date. If it's a closing date for a loan program that will win a deal because we're getting a certain closing date, we're here for it. Let us know. We want to help you get the deals accepted. And I feel like we're pretty darn good at that as well.
Uh-oh.
He's here. He's just getting a little glitchy. Give us your advice to finish up the day.
Yeah, more than ever, agents are going to have to be best friends with their lender. Hopefully it's Ryan, Tom, or Anthony. But if it's not, I mean, they're going to have a tough time because they need to be able to have that relationship to cohesively work and structure these deals with the lender and the buyer so that everything works. It's going to be very important. So I don't know if you guys got all that, but
we got it all.
It didn't match with your mouth, but it's okay. Sometimes my TV does that. It's all good.
Yeah, gabagool. Yeah, see, boom. We're good. All right, boys. Well, great Friday episode. We'll see you later, and have a great weekend.
God bless.